Hello and welcome to World of Tanks with Anubis. I recently did another English World of Tanks video in which this fancy French artillery piece was mentioned, and I mentioned that it should be in the German tech tree rather than the French tech tree, and I'll try to explain why. By the way, the name of the tank is not leFH's like some Germans like to call it, or leFH's like Jingles likes to call it. The real full German name is actually 10,5 cm leichte Feldhaubitze 18 auf Geschützwagen B2. So that might sound weird for the one or other English person, so I'll try to translate it in as much as possible understandable and logically correct way. One of the most accurate translations would be the 10.5 cm light field howitzer 18 on gun vehicle B2. The question now beside the German name: why is it actually German or should be German in the World of Tanks tech tree? Basically it's a captured tank, like for example the Panzer S-35, which is a modified version of the Zamura S-35, and that used to be a French B1 tank. What then happened was the German captured that B1 tank, removed the turret and the upper hull, and put the 10.5 cm leichte Feldhaubitze 18 towed artillery on that chassis. Wanna see an SE-100 burn? Here you go. Well, I call that lucky. Extremely lucky. How about that Su-85? Note that with this tank you can actually just clutch shot, because you actually need as much time for aiming as you need for reload. So it's not surprising that this first clutch shot, which tracked him, made me easily get the kill on this Su-85. What else is special on the 10.5 cm light field howitzer 18 on gun vehicle P2, you ask? Well, I can tell you. The 10.5 cm light field howitzer 18 on gun vehicle B2 actually has a 10.5 cm light field howitzer 18 mounted on top of it. This is a very precise 10.5 cm howitzer that got used in World War I and II, and one of the downsides that they had with this towed artillery is that the range is not very good. As much as with the FV304 or the Bird as many call it, you have the problem that you have a very limited range of fire. It's better than the Bird, but on any map bigger than 800 meters you get into problems. The good thing, however, is that it got a pretty nice penetration of around 50 millimeters on the high explosive shells, and the gun arc is very high. That means if you manage to get your shot on the back of an enemy tank, it usually comes from above, right through the hull. Careful, friendly ELC! Oh, I almost team killed the ELC. And why, you ask? You might have noticed that the shells on this artillery actually travel very slowly. You got up to 3 seconds travel time on maximum distance, which is around 700 meters, I think. Up until now I picked up 2 kills and a nice amount of damage. Over 1000 in total so far. So now that we know the upsides and downsides of this gun, I can pretty much say that the 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2 feels right at home on El Haluf. Watch out for this OI who is just about to spot me. I think he did spot me at this point and he will shoot me, but watch what happens. Can you believe that? I bounced a shot from an OI. I did take a look all around the tank, but I couldn't find a single scratch in the replay. I don't know where it bounced, but expect to bounce a few shots in this tank, as it has a heavy tank chassis. That means the 10.5 light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2 is a bit slower than usual French artillery pieces, but I think with that gun it pretty much makes up for that. So enough with the chit chat. How is the game doing? The score is 10 versus 10. It's still very close and it's up to us with this awesome 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2 to pull this game around. We are currently pushed more or less back to our own starting area, and I'll start hammering on that OI and try to take him out as fast as possible. And with that, the 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2 claims its third victim. Watch out! A wild ELC appeared! Oh, that hurt. But this, even more. You don't want a shotgun duel with a 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2. And now it's 13 versus 10, and the hunt for the remaining artilleries is on. This might take some time. I'll speed this up so no one falls asleep. I fire some blind shots in damaged buildings because that are places where I usually tend to hide. It sounds stupid, but if you think about it, who would shoot there if it's a stupid idea to hide there in the first place? And with that, all three shells of the 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2 missed and didn't hit anything. Here we see, or not, one of the main problems of the 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2. The awful range. I actually had to move to get even near that, and the enemy was done before I even got close to be able to shoot there. But fear not, 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2. There's still stuff to shoot at. For example, this artillery. It actually made it all the way from the enemy base over the flank and to our own base just to get tracked by me. And then killed. I hope you liked the story of the 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2. And if you did, leave a like and comment if you agree with me that it really should be a German artillery piece. Because the 10.5cm light field howitzer 18 on gun Weagle B2 is the captured tank, and captured tanks used to be in the nation that captured it in World of Tanks. And besides that, we need more premium artillery, and in my totally unbiased opinion, it should be a German premium artillery next. Jingles, if you're watching this, I challenge you to call this tank by its name next time you make a video about it. I mean, the name that I translated for it. Or if you're too lazy to that, just call it Frank for me. Just once. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the show and I see most of you next time.